Throughout their history in CSGO, Complexity have never beaten Liquid on LAN. But that was without Elige in the equation. We go to Anubis. What are we expecting from Complexity, Brandon?
A lot of aggression on this CT side. Normally you see teams quite a lot. They'll look to fight B main. They'll look to go for water control. Complexity vary it up quite a lot. I feel like they were one of the main instigators of creating all of the different dynamics of CT aggression, and they need to be on the same page here today. Fast one out towards A main. Skull's holding, but not ready for Floppy. And Elige, the dual Berettas, already chiming out with 3 kills. Yakinda not spotted with the bomb, but completely isolated from Cadian.
What can he do? Cadian's going to try and get something done, just walking down towards Dark. But JT is holding for this as well. Does get the kill, so that's something to work with. Cadian's position known. Yakinda isn't a known factor, so he can extract himself from the situation. They don't know that he's here with the bomb. And he's hoping that maybe someone crawls up. Cadian's just looking for the fight, looking for something to get a kill back. It's all trying to pull the distraction to enable Yakinda, but now it's just Yakinda. First kill is his. Now they know exactly where he is.
It's difficult. He's just trying to find these kills, and they won't be given easily over to him. Complexity. They got him trapped in the corner. He's just dropping all the utility to try and create a escape plan, but he's worried about the walls closing in from him behind over towards Spawn, creeping over the top of the smoke. Gun barrel spotted, but no kill available. Yakinda has to slink back around in towards Spawn. 30 seconds left. He can extract himself. There is a world in which he can get to this bomb site, but already been spotted out. It's going to be so difficult. Grim's just lying in wait. Will take the contact of Elige. Yakinda, one more headshot, but can't get past the dual Berettas. Complexity, get the pistol again.
Yeah, empty from Yakinda, but that was domination out the gate from Complexity. The double dual Beretta push out A main devastates them. We'll see that one back again. Look at those dualies go. All 3 full. Nice shot from Grim as well. And it's a clean pistol for Complexity. Floppy getting fired up early.
This is what Complexity need to do. They need to take the initiation on a lot of these fights. Sure, it's difficult, especially on the T side of Anubis. There's so many long-range sight lines for Liquid to try and work with. But at the end of the day, if you're setting the tempo of where you want to take these gunfights, you're going to be a lot more prepared for them. It felt like on Inferno, Complexity weren't really sure where Liquid were going to end up. This round, it's clear again. JT finding Cadian, and that's the bomb dropped as well.
Liquid are loving these second round force buys even without the bomb plant. Tech9's one has fallen and JT gets to feast. Is brought down low. Drops the incendiary. Premeditating a swarm. Holzerg starts to get active in the back lines. Yakinda dealt with eventually. Floppy's the one that gets the kill. Doesn't quite feel like the force by Liquid, just not getting anything done with these pistols.
No, just being caught off guard. JT just, again, swinging, taking a lot of the contact, and Liquid know that there's one confirmed player over towards Dark. They want to group together, try and overwhelm with the Tech9s, but as soon as he takes the contact, that's where Holzer can walk out towards A main. That's where players can come over from middle as well, just to reinforce and support. It really did not feel like that forced round, as you mentioned, and taking a look at the buy now, Yakinda's actually opted for a scout, a hero scout, surrounded by Glocks and a couple of Deegs.
Yeah, so I think the reason for this is into the next round, he's going to pick up a Mac 10 and they're going to go for a fast play. He's already shown a proclivity to be picking up that Mac 10, even when they don't necessarily need to go down to the SMG, so I suspect that's the decision-making here.
There's a lot of set plays that Liquid try and pull out on Anubis. They really favor this A bomb site quite a lot, especially through the closed qualifiers. They were whipping out AXX pretty frequently, so that's something to keep your eye on. Yakinda's got his eyes just trained completely over at Dark. No one presenting a kill. This double setup on A is potent as well. They could are more than happy just to kind of take this space over towards where the boat used to be and just the water and sit back. The issue is you're not doing anything with this space.
Complexity aren't feeling too stressed. JT is going to get flashed forward. Whoa, never mind. It's a great flash, but it's a better kill from Naf. the P250, despite dabbing, is able to find the kill. Damage done on 2 of these players, but thinking about hitting into B, there's a double up in towards Dark. That's going to be very difficult to unravel. You might expect one in Elige. Well, he's doing it all anyway. The secondary presence now going to be called upon. Grim does swing on through, and he's going to finish the job. Yeah,
nicely done. You know there's not going to be too much utility in that round for Liquid anyway. Probably a surprise factor was that scout being brought in by Yakindar, but ultimately, as long as Complexity play together, they're just going to trade out. They're going to win that round in its entirety. Here's the one that gets a lot more interesting. Prioritization on orbs for both Cadian and Hauzerg already entering the fray. And for Hauzerg, you looked at Inferno, you watched him play, and it felt like as soon as he got one kill, he instantly wanted to go for another. And it was the complete inverse for Liquid and Cadian. They take one kill, they would be happy. They're disengaged completely.
Orbs won't be facing early. Cadian takes his over for the Dark Peak, while Hauzerg is initially locking off mid. The flashbang is keeping them flustered at A main. But Elige and Floppy are getting fairly aggressive there. Oh, JT needed to be careful there. Cadian on the left side, not spotted. JT thinks he has maybe a chance for a fight onto somebody. Gives up that opener.
Good blow on the smoke grenade, and that forces the A main defenders away to go and reinforce mid. Cadian did shoot out when Elige flashed over towards A. So at the very least, presence is going to be noted by Complexity. But these smokes, they're going over towards B, but it's a Trojan horse set up by Liquid. In fact, their final destination, they want it to be A. Elige caught off guard in mid, not ready for twist. Naf is still forcing the issue, anchoring Complexity in.
That was a bit of an odd sequence for Elige, right? Just shot a bullet and then turned right into the T. With these 2 kills, that should be Liquid getting onto the board. And Naf's already on this leg, looking to try and hunt down, but Hauzerg feels like he has that kill. Naf eventually taken down by Floppy, but it's good damage done. Yakinder's accelerating, but Grim hears it. Ready for that push through, when Liquid can't hunt too much further.
Good round of CS. There's a lot of moving pieces there for Liquid, but what they are doing is just creating an even blanket of pressure over the map. JT gets caught just looking for that control after dumping his utility. I'll pause my train of thought for a moment because there's a chance in which this AWP gets denied. Skulls doesn't want to overstep. So they'll fall back away. But Complexity never knew what was going on. I think that's the most important issue. Normally, in the rounds previous, the ones in which that they've won, they've definitely gone to take this control. This time, they get stunted right here, and then it feels like they can't go for the A aggression.
Yeah, both attempts at information gathering, the lookout through Dark by JT off that smoke being blown, and then Elige wandering into mid. Both of those are dealt with pretty easily. But at least for Complexity, saving those 2 weapons, actually enabled a second AWP. Elige wielding the sniper.
Good variation now. Complexity are just weaving in this nade that is very meta, that lands over towards the top of the steps, but Liquid are prioritizing this control round after round. Hauzerg reposts. Wants to turret over towards A main, but can't find anything. Utility holding him back. His aggression and patience potentially rewarded, but no. Double nades. One doesn't quite hit the mark, and finally, Hauzerg strikes.
Nice idea from Liquid. Doesn't quite find the purchase it was hoping for. He's just walking up towards Dark solely, but the smoke is going to deter him. Bomb grouping up outside of B main, so it does look like this is where they're interested. You can see Complexity are worried about middle. That's been open this entire round.
Second AWP's come over from Elige as well. He's gone in towards the B-bomb site. The rifle in Grim is now flexed over towards mid, but Liquid, they're about to charge forward. Smokes, block off the angle. Elige now needs to move to an angle in which vision not obscured. Denial utility. Whilst it's here, it's Skulls that denies JT. Now through the smoke on towards Grim, and Elige, the only player to defend, gets overwhelmed by twists. It's so clean from Liquid. And for Holzerk, he's just left saving, scratching his head, thinking, what went wrong? It felt like everyone was in the right spot, and he can't hold on to the sniper. Expensive investments get shut down by simple Liquid exec.
It's a crushing round from Complexity. And yeah, the exec does feel simple, right? But the way Complexity play around that, they drop a smoke forward, the group tries to lurk around, but I think Skulls is a pivotal piece. He takes down JT, and Elise never feels like he can take any of the fights he wanted to. We can see before the hit comes through, he's kind of layered with JT. He has the perfect line to fight forward, but as soon as his teammate falls down, he can't get involved.
It's good entry pathing as well. It's just rehearsed offline in the server. Skulls takes the first contact. Naf then moves through the smoke. You're fanning out over the bomb site, and you're making it just feel so claustrophobic for Complexity, even though they had all the players in the right positions. And now Liquid know they've done the economic damage. They've seen two snipers. They know at best there's going to be a P250, maybe a Deagle thrown in. Instead, it's just USPs. There's no utility. And it's just a stack on this B bomb site.
Gonna walk out through B main and find it empty. Might be able to get onto a decent flank timing, but actually Liquid are starting to accelerate on this split. Being very careful. Make sure they don't walk into a stack. It's going to be empty. Liquid looking to equalize. Any damage Complexity here can do would be fantastic. They'd love to get a rifle or two if possible.
Bomb has been planted.
I think this is very interesting. We take away the look at which Liquid set up this round, and sure, most people would just say they're grouping together, they go into a bomb site. This is the first round in which they've actually poked and prodded in towards middle. In case the stack was set up there, in case Complexity floated members over, Liquid is still showing presence in this area of the map. And now they can look to potentially work it out. USPs don't find anything. It's collateral damage for Complexity at this point. Liquid growing in confidence. Finding 3 in a row.
The difficulty of that double AWP setup that was run 2 rounds ago means that you don't have one into this round. And you'd love for Holzerk to get his hands on it. Found that opening kill on the round they ended up losing. Off the back of Liquid's great execute onto B. Prioritization of the AWPs early on their CT side, to me, kind of signals that that's what they feel their strength is on Anubis, to lock down some of these lines, deny entry for Liquid. Just going to be the rifles into this one.
And these are the rounds in which you normally see Complexity sort of fight for space over towards A. We saw it on the pistol, but also look, you think about how Liquid have set themselves up. You see the information that JT has gathered every single time he's peeked in towards dark. There's been multiple players occupying that area of the map just outside A main. Complexity have wanted to try and force the issue through the doorway. Instead, they've actually got the read. 2 in mid, 2 walking close. This flashbang, it's everything but Naf. He just spams it. He expects them to be there. And through Skulls goes JT. Needs to get the trade and he can't do it. Liquid have breached the bomb site again.
So explosive. Just feels like as soon as the hit comes through, there's elements coming at you from every angle and you just don't know where to look if you're the CTs. And the way that the CT half plays out, it just means that if they're hitting into the side where Leech isn't, he just can't get involved in these rounds.
Well, I will say as well, what a perfect call from Cadian. You know Complexity are just investing in. You know that there's not going to be a sniper in this round. The utility is going to be weak. And the way that Complexity play these CT sides, they're dynamic. They go and look for these information plays. It felt like if that flashbang came through half a second earlier, that round goes a completely different way, but it doesn't. Naf's even holding the edge of the smoke for feet.
Worth noting as well for Cadian, this first CS2 major, this is in Copenhagen, the first Danish major. Already a couple of Danes there, but a lot that are absent. You know, it would mean so much for him to play once again in front of the home crowd. With a different squad this time.
It would also give NA home crowd advantage, potentially.
That is true.
Two cultures coming together in unison, potentially. Complexity not in the same page when it comes to the buy. Yet again, it's just Floppy with the M4. Everyone else is on pistols. Again, fast showing in towards B main, but it's Naf that fires off with a hat trick. Very simple stuff. One flash doesn't deter him whatsoever. The experience shines through for Liquid. And finally, they're going through the motions, the hard work, the perseverance. It's starting to pay off.
That's a bit nasty over towards B. It just feels like he always is finding this opening kill. Grim gets one back. They don't need a hunt, but maybe Holzek will do a little poking of his own. There's a world he can get the AWP, but no, Skulls is there to support Cadian. Has his in-game leaders back. But the money's been saved. Floppy 6.3, Holzek 6K. We're gonna see an AWP out.
What's scary is how much better this could look if Liquid could get a pistol round. It just feels like it's the follow-on from Complexity being able to win it out. The rifle rounds have all been Liquid's. Exchange of utility, the war of attrition, but the poke in towards A main. At least Holzek is there to trade. But immediately, look at the pressure being applied elsewhere. Yakinda round the corner, JT dropping incendiaries and finally securing a headshot.
Yakinda's kind of unlucky for him, but he's trapped by the Molotov and JT just knows he has to be in that corner. A very easy pre-fire for him. And a drop down in towards mid. Elish is behind Twist, and Twist is being pinched at every angle. Finally, a response from Complexity, and it's looking thorough, only losing the one.
Much better. And that all comes off the back of Complexity reacting to things in a lot faster of a manner. Important fight, obviously, is the JT one on towards Yakinda, but Holzek trading out A main. Keeping the sniper over there. He can remain rooted, and it allows Elish to be a little bit more inquisitive over towards middle. We've mentioned it, the only round in which Liquid has prioritized mid control, something that is very meta. Something we've seen the Molotovs evolving to the point where you can walk behind, peek through the doors. They've only used it once in that eco.
Picked up the AWP off Cadian's body, so Elish is going to be running the second sniper again. Complexity continuing to prioritize this AWP. And they're getting aggressive at A main, so they're going to get information early. Liquid, though, are all set up outside of A. How fast do Complexity respond?
That is the question. You can see that Grim has been sent completely solo. And immediately, JT, Elish, they're going to have to be reinforcing this bomb site. Floppy, full blind, Nap, overwhelms, but Holzek is here to clean up at least. And finally, that's allowed space for JT to stand up and deliver alongside his AWP. And Yakinda can't even find the flank. Complexity are back.
Massive from JT to step into that gap that had been made. Floppy falls, and it's on to Holzek to get that first kill. They slow down Liquid, and JT slips in. Players low from the utility, and he finishes them off with style. Complexity even things up 2 in a row after Liquid got that 5-round run, as you can see up the top. And it's caused Liquid to take a moment, reassess their approach on this T side.
Use the word style, and that has to be synonymous with the way that Liquid are setting up over the last couple of rounds. It feels like they have changed their style mid-game. Previously, it was defaulting. Now it's just execs, pop plays that are almost called out of spawn, it feels like, to a certain extent.
But it's really good from Complexity, despite feeling the pressure on them, still going for the information plays, right? Still trying to work out what Liquid's setup is. And that was what allowed them to get ahead of that hit. Elish poking out main. They set up here again. This time, there are 4 Ts on the other side being held. The HE is brutal. But they will live.
It's only a lick of damage on Elish in reality because he's got the sniper. It doesn't matter too much. Here we go. More defaulting towards mid now for Liquid. They look to take the space. This is the first time that Floppy is going to have a gunfight over at camera in this half. But keep your eyes on B, because as this is going on, JT, Grim might push the issue.
Flash comes forward, Floppy. Now aware of that presence. Holzer gets twist. Naf though wins out the fight to JT. And they can come back, but Alicia's AWP is strong and Floppy holds from heaven. Cadian in mid by himself and Holzer holds the line down. And he might not be done yet. Skulls has to find his way back into this round. Does get that first kill, but can't adjust to Floppy.
Starting to see some of the same mistakes that we were commenting on. Not just us, but the desk all throughout Liquid's journey here in the Americas RMR. They get in the control, and then it just feels like individuals are trying to overextend themselves. Great trade. Naf finds the kill towards Dark, and then re-peaks. Feels like he needs to take the space, gets shut down. You take a look at every single kill on these highlights. It's one-on-ones. There's no utility. Complexity got the superior angles just to lock things out.
In the trade spacing, we were praising Liquid so much for in the early stage of this map, and notably Inferno is now Complexity. Stepping up and having an extra element always ready. Naf expecting a bit of aggression. Grim is looking for the angle, but Naf is precise, and now Elish has to come on back. Gonna be mollied off though. Soundku gives up his presence, and bursting through the smoke, they just jump on in. Cadian gets the trade, but Holzerk is here. 3-on-3, but JT keeps on fighting forward and somehow wins out the duel onto Yakinda. Elish misses his mark onto Naf. Rescopes onto the angle, and Naf is ready for the push, but Ali sharp with a shot. Leaves it to Twist, the superstar of Liquid, returning to home soil. Has done so much work for this team since coming into the mix. The 1v3 for the final round of the half is going to be a difficult trick to pull off. Some time to work with. Bomb isn't too far from him. JT is low. JT goes for the information. Twist can't find the kill though. And so Complexity will lead by 2 at the half.
Really solid CT side from Complexity. It just felt like they forced Liquid into going for those plays. Where Liquid weren't getting the trades, where Complexity was surviving. These pushes through the smoke. Turns into a little bit of desperation at times, and you can see that Naf completely trapped in the corner. Ali just so right just to rescope, position on the angle, knows that he's got him locked in. It doesn't matter if Twist needs to go and get the bomb. On one area of the map, you know that you've got these players locked in. You know that you got these players sweating. Because it was a position of strength to now a position of weakness for Liquid. Because Complexity are taking the lead, and one thing they've been thriving on so far in this series has been pistols. They've been 3 for 3.
You feel like Complexity get this pistol, and we're looking out towards that decider of overpass. They get off to a strong T side. Shoes on the other foot. Liquid now feeling a bit more pressure. They've gone for 3 over towards B. They're going to poke out main early. Complexity are just going to hit straight into the A side.
This would have been a cool idea if Complexity weren't ahead of this smoke. But instead they are, which means they're just going to peek through. Yakinda, Skulls need to hold the line, need to scream for rotates. Naf's on his way, but he's a long way out. Yakinda just surviving. Naf steps in, but can't hold on. And it's Yakinda who is here from the start and now needs to close. And he can't get by the P250. Elige exacting revenge. 2 kills in the round, keeping Liquid out of A. It's Cadian and Twist that need to save. And I feel like a broken record, but it's Complexity with another pistol round.
And Elige is now going to get started to get fired up on this T side. He can take the initiative. So many rounds in the defense where Liquid were just going to a different side and he was forced to save, to go for retakes. But now he can be the one setting the tempo, making Liquid play to his tune. And he knows the songs that they like. He's not playing any of them. Twist gets the save. A bit of armor and a flashbang. Will Liquid force around this?
I don't think so. I don't like the investment if they choose to do it.
They've been liking the second round forces.
But it's CT side, it's a little bit different. Although as soon as I say that, it's Cadian that whips out the MP9. But he hasn't got armor. Is he going to drop it over to someone?
He drops the... Yeah, okay, it's a bit of a discussion around how they're going to play it out. Twist keeps the body armor, wanted the head armor, but decides the FAMAS is a little bit more suitable. Complexity just going to run it back. A rush this time. Speedy, and there goes. Skulls can't do anything, but Cadian does get one back. Twist falling though means that FAMAS is now out of action, and Cadian run down by Elige. 2 into the site. Complexity looking for 9.
I know you got to save. If you're Naf, if you're Kindar, you can't really give this a look in. Naf poking and prodding towards heaven, but surely it has to be a recall. Grim's already on an adventure. He wants to shut down any potential of Liquid trying to save these guns. And the Complexity, again, it's a good call. They're not showing anything different on this pistol round than what they did on the pistol, I should say. Just, again, another A execute. It's very simple, but they changed the acceleration. They drop flashbangs early, just in case Liquid want to go for a fight. They get blinded. They can't trade. They get overwhelmed. This Anubis pick has always been incredibly strong for Complexity. Faltered to various different oppositions at the top of European competition. Liquid always look good, but that's because they've been playing domestically. So contextually, stats go out the window. Zeus on your Kindar. Molly. Doesn't affect him, but he can't get anything going.
That was so close. Unlucky for you, Kindar. God loves a try-up. Easy to like for Complexity to get 10 eco from Liquid. Finding too much. Yeah, stack up. Looking for a hunt. Bit of an odd avant-garde stack. I don't think it's one you would ever expect. JT might actually start looking through there because he's got the Mac 10, so I wouldn't be surprised if, as the clock ticks down, he starts to go on an adventure through Temple. But no, it looks like it's just going to back off. Stick around the bomb just in case. I would have liked, considering he did make the choice to bring the Mac 10 through, you may as well hunt. But looking like he doesn't want to give anything over to Liquid. No kill bonus, no Mac 10. Regardless, Complexity double the scoreline of Liquid.
Goes the other way as well. JT's not able to farm up any cash off the back of killing these players around with USPs, but he's not going to mind whatsoever. Nearly at $7,000. Cadian prioritizing the AWP. Almost kind of feels like one of the final stands here for Liquid on Anubis. First gun round we're going to see in this second half off the back of the resultant force buys. Finally, it feels a little bit even. Bar Cadian being the only sniper in the server. More of a bonus for Complexity.
I see a big smile on TC's face. Liquid not quite as vocal as they were on Inferno. JT is going fast. Yakinda does win out the fight, but the trade is immediate. Natho quick on it, Grim in as well. It's a fast pounce into the side. Cadian at least keeping the advantage for a moment, but he is so low. Run down by Holzek. Skulls and Twists will arrive at the scene.
2 on 2. Like, they haven't planted yet. There's so much room for them to get in.
Skulls tries to get ahead. Twist not ready for Grim. Over towards the pillar. Now leaves it on Skulls, and his position is known. Nice little maneuver to get ahead of it, but he's heard. Touches the Molotov, and Grim sees him around the edge of the smoke. 1 HP. Skulls has no chance. Surely no. Grim makes it so. Complexity are running away with Anubis.
They're just taking the fights. They're feeling in complete control. They feel really comfy in running down Yakinda over at Dark, taking the fights on towards Cadian as well, and reinforcing their control with utility. Cadian takes 1 shot onto Elige. What's the immediate follow-up for Complexity? It's a molly in towards Cliff. It's a HE over the top, and they're already wrapping him. He's so paranoid about there being more players in towards Dark, but that's not where the majority of Complexity are walking in from.
I spy. Where is Zeus?
Yeah, not sure on that one.
I think he was ducked down just out behind Katie, and I could see a shoulder, tiny little bit.
I spy where's Liquid on this CT side. Not around to show for it. And as soon as they call a pause, it's Complexity that rubs salt in the wound. Oh, you ready to go? That's tough. We want 30 more seconds for you to sit in it, for you to stew.
It's a wacky buy we're seeing at the moment. What is going on here? Kinda Cadian with the M4s. Twist has dropped one over from the looks of it. He's got a Zeus. Naf has 2.5K left.
I don't know.
This is a VP-esque economy management.
Yeah, this one is a buy. I'm not sure quite what you'd call it.
This is a standard matchmaking buy.
That's a better way to frame it.
Liquid have intent with it, I'm certain. Twist in towards Dark. You know what? Zeus gets a kill. It's done its job.
This is a great smoke. This is one that Liquid didn't throw all half, but Complexity have immediately brought it out. It lands in towards the middle of Dark, and it gives them so much room to work up. Look at JT and Elige. Not a care in the world. Twist has to respect it.
He walks straight on through. It's also a pretty decent angle. Oh, Elige decapitates Twist. Yukinda getting aggressive, and Grim deletes him. JT fast, pouncing on towards the site. Cadian with this M4 just wants to save it for another chance into the next, but Liquid are just coming up with nothing on the CT side. No answers at all.
It feels very bare bones, doesn't it? And the buy also really just reflects a lot of question marks into the approach of the CT side, but also the approach into the macro of this game. Feeling like they can do something with very little. And at the same time, on one hand, you've got to admire the confidence. You've got to respect the fact that Liquid think that they can win with anything. But in the end, they're not setting themselves up for long-term success. Sure, it's going to go map point. It's going to go 12-5. But the buy for overtime is going to be incredibly similar to what they just brought forward here.
Terrorists win.
You know what Des said? This series deserves 3 maps. And Complexity looks set to send us there. A flawless run on this T side. Putting no foot wrong. The closest the rounds have come have been a 2-on-1 in their favor.
It's good to see the resilience as well. It's good to see Complexity are fighting back into this series where it felt like Liquid completely knew your next move on Inferno. Here on Anubis, it's been one-way traffic.
Here's the answer to our question. It's for this round. It's allowed a double AWP to come through, and Cadian, peering around the edge of that deep smoke, finds the opening kill. So it's fully calculated. Every penny counted to allow this set of weaponry to come through.
This is difficult though. There's double AWPs on B. Elige just walked through the smoke. This needs to be accounted for. Floppy trying to apply pressure. Elige will be traded out eventually. You still got one AWP in NAF. They know this. Complexity want to get as close as possible to try and remove it.
Double AWP on B. Smoke lands forward. Floppy's found a double. Grim gets his as well. NAF is the only remaining member. A is completely undone by Floppy. The bomb is hightailing it there. They know this AWP is in play. NAF misses his shot, and Complexity are not done yet.
Yeah, they get another shot at booking their tickets to Copenhagen. And that looked completely dominant from Complexity as well. Overpass, our decider.
There we have it, 9 back-to-back rounds. Complexity managed to pull themselves together.